through a very long period in my life. I'm still very young, but I went through a really long period where I felt like I was constantly running from things and I wasn't ready to face certain things that I had gone through, wasn't ready to have those like difficult conversations with myself.
This story starts with a 12-year-old girl crying outside a candy store because her idol tweeted about her. That girl is Madison Beer, and the idol is Justin Bieber. However, what Madison didn't know was that single tweet wasn't just the start of a dream. It marked the beginning of a journey that would launch her into fame, give her a global platform, and make her a household name. But behind the lights, Madison would also face heavy industry control, early hypersexualization, isolation, and the pressure to stay quiet when powerful men shaped her image. And at the center of it all was Justin Bieber, the same man who helped discover her, but may have also crossed the professional line and initiated some questionable moments with her. And yet, instead of speaking out, Madison would spend years defending him, protecting him, and holding the weight of his legacy like it was her own. Let's get right into it.
Does he still support you to this day? Do you still have any sort of relationship?
Yeah, of course. And people ask me this all the time. We spent so many years so close, and I think that we'll always have that sort of like bond that will remain no matter what.
Before everything flipped, we've got to go all the way back to where it all started. So backtrack with me real quick. Back in 2012, Madison was just posting singing covers on YouTube, just the way that Justin used to back in 2008 when Scooter Braun discovered him. She was just an ordinary kid with braces and posters of Justin all over her bedroom wall. She even had his song as her ringtone. Like, as a kid, Madison's wildest dream would be to meet Justin Bieber.
Nicole called me and was like, "What's going on? Did you see Justin Bieber's tweet?" And I was like, "About what?" She was like, "You?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And like, I freaked out and I hung up the phone. I was like hysterically crying outside of a candy store with my mom in the car. And I was like, "What's happening?" And we were going crazy.
In a twist of fate, she caught Justin's attention when he tweeted not one, but 3 of her covers. That single tweet is all it took for Madison to rise to the top. But then, it was also around that time that things got tricky. You see, Justin didn't just become Madison's fan. He was 19, rich, powerful, and already a global superstar. On the flip side was 12-year-old Madison, barely in middle school. Also, right after that tweet, Justin personally signed her to his label, and his manager Scooter Braun immediately took over. This meant that they had the same team, same machine, so like Justin basically became her boss. And for a very long time, she was very grateful for that.
I was a huge Justin fan before he discovered me. He's great. It's awesome that I get to have somebody who I literally looked up to my whole childhood as my mentor. It's really cool.
It felt like a dream at the time, but looking back, it's starting to feel like something else. Because the moment Madison got signed, her career kind of slowed down. Her team didn't want to debut her too fast because they thought she looked too sexy at 14. And by team, I mean the men who were running her life. Guys, this was a child, already being shaped, judged, and controlled by older men behind the scenes. In an interview, Madison once confirmed this when she said, "There was a conversation around me when I was 14. I remember people being like, 'She's too sexy. We can't sell the sex because she's so young. We have to wait.' Grown men talking about how I was too sexy. I was 14. And even though Madison has only ever said nice things about Justin, you can literally feel how deep that connection was despite the age difference. In one interview, she said that they'll always have a bond, that she still uses his tools that he gave her and the skills that she learned from him. Madison added that Justin Bieber was incredible every step of the way.
You know, his main piece of advice is just to never give up because there's going to be a lot of negativity. No matter what, like focus on your music and what's important and never take your eye off the target.
But now fans are asking, was it mentorship or was it power? Because when a global superstar picks a 12-year-old girl off of YouTube, becomes her label, her manager, her brand, that's not just support. It's complete influence over her image, her self-worth, and her future. Not to mention that for years they stayed close, almost too close. And yet, when talking about the professional side of things, Madison once said Justin didn't have much time for her, as he was always busy focusing on his own music. Which begs the question, if he wasn't the hands-on, in the studio guy? Why was he reviewing her songs before they dropped? Why was he the final say and he having the verdict on all of her projects? And this alone slowed down her career as she only put out music that Justin approved. Many people are saying this wasn't mentorship, it was control. And it gets weirder because even though Madison has always downplayed their closeness, neither of them can explain the tons of paparazzi photos of them hanging out, like the random hikes, the late night food runs, public outings that felt more like a situationship than a mentorship. Y'all remember that one infamous clip where paparazzi caught them hand in hand getting too cozy on a trail and Justin straight up ran, leaving Madison alone and embarrassed. He has a thing for leaving his girlfriends behind when the paparazzi flock to them, cause that's a move he's pulled on Hailey over and over again, right from when they were just starting out. Oh, but it gets wilder. There's this blind item from 2017 that claimed that Madison was being paid just to stay around Justin. Not for a collaboration or for learning, just to keep him company like a babysitter. Now, before you rubbish all of this off as far-fetched tabloid gossip, need I remind you that Madison was signed around 2012 and remained there until 2015? During that time, she only released 2 singles, Melodies and Unbreakable, and then collaborated with the franchise Monster High. Additionally, she released a remix of Valentine by Cody Simpson on her YouTube channel, which was played on Radio Disney but not officially released on streaming platforms. So if she only had less than 5 projects in 3 years, it would make sense that she was just there to be seen, not to be heard. And that is just super messed up. Allegedly, she was making nearly $10,000 a week to keep him calm, stayed glued to him 24/7, and help protect the brand. And Justin's team was actually signing those checks. She wasn't even playing girlfriend at this point. You would think she was his handler. Also remember, this was around the time that Justin was spiraling, always hitting headlines for all the wrong reasons, and then there was all of that drama with Selena Gomez right before he got with Hailey. He was always having a breakdown and there was constant chaos. And after watching how things had been playing out between him and Hailey, a lot of people now believe that Justin isn't the type to seek help when he's struggling. He'd rather just latch on to whoever is closest. It's been said over and over and over that the only reason their marriage lasted this long is because Hailey has held it down. But now the rumor mill says that she is done bending over backwards for him, and y'all can see the mess that he has become lately. And even now, instead of facing it, he is still in denial and refusing therapy. Not so long ago, he was ranting on Instagram, trying to shut down the people begging him to get help. And we cannot forget how Justin would get fans dragging Madison, like the time that they blamed her for ruining Justin and Selena back in 2018. Justin was super silent, and Madison had to come out and clear her name, saying that Justin was just like a big brother to her, and that even in a million years, she would never consider dating Justin. But the plot thickens, guys. If that 2017 blind item is even halfway true, it does make sense that his team would pay Madison that much just to keep him level-headed. And even back then, Madison was out there insisting that Justin Bieber was in a good place. Fans now think it was all but a PR move, and that she was most definitely coached on how to present him as stable, even when he wasn't. Guys, remember, she was just 17. Also, Justin would make these grand gestures in a way that got people convinced that they were an item, like the time that he brought her on stage for birthday shoutouts and made it all sweet, yet behind the scenes, the power imbalance was louder than the applause.
I should say her happy birthday because it's a really special day for her. What do you think? All right? Happy birthday to you.
Despite all of these glaring red flags, probably the one time everyone lost it was when a Reddit post popped up claiming that Madison and Justin were more than friends way back in 2014, claiming that their closeness got physical. At the time, he was 20 and Madison was 15. And while they never addressed any of it, their body language said what needed to be said. Like those pics of him with his hands on her in the studio, which was actually taken right before she turned 15. It also was around that time when Justin flew Sophia Richie, who was also a teen, to another country where the age of consent was lower. Doesn't feel like a coincidence. This is a pattern, and we all know where he learned it from. And as if this wasn't messy enough, there's a post where Justin shared a pic of Madison captioned, "My friend Madison Beer has a bigger nose than me." Who agrees? First of all, from the way that the photo is angled, many said that it looked like she was laying in bed. Justin would keep talking about Madison's nose being bigger to the point that it was no longer cute. He was outrightly humiliating her. And there's a pattern here, one that Hailey knows all too well because Justin has never failed to find a way to diss her. This person puts it best. Him calling her nose huge a bunch of times definitely helps to explain how beautiful women like her end up going under the knife anyway. Not to forget, this is a girl who has spoken about how being too pretty made her a target. She's been sexualized since the age of 14 before her debut, and here's Justin making fun of her to millions of viewers. Not cool at all. So basically, this all felt like Madison got stuck in a role that she never asked for and stayed loyal, hoping for Justin to eventually support her music career, but it all stayed as wishes. Also, y'all, remember Madison later moved to LA at 16, living alone while trying to survive in an industry that eats girls alive. She didn't have security, nor a parent to have her on curfew, but being a teenager and living solo must have been the least of her worries now that she had to navigate press, producers, and literally every single frustration. And that's the part that nobody wants to talk about.
You've been living in LA since you were 16, right? Without any family?
Well, okay, so I moved here when I was 14, and my mom and my brother moved out here as well.
People are now calling it for what it was, a setup, because Hollywood has a way of isolating teenagers and calling it independence, only for them to end up paying dearly. Take Madison's case, for instance. If Justin really cared about protecting her, why was she the one sent to protect him? Now, this is where your mind gets completely blown, because word on the street is that Hailey knew everything about Madison, because she got official with Justin in 2015 when Madison was still in the picture. Hailey may have never spoken about Madison directly, but they both follow each other on IG. But as always, Justin still comments on Madison's photos every so often, like on her birthdays, and fans are kind of wondering how Hailey feels about this. One thing about Justin, he is always gas up these beautiful babes, but his wife is where he draws the line, unless he's making fun of her. Anyway, earlier this year, Madison finally talked about the state of her relationship, both with Justin and Hailey, and this is what she had to say. "I love Justin and Hailey Bieber very much. I was with them recently, and we were like, how special that we've known each other for so long. I've known Hailey since I was 10, and I've known Justin since I was 12. We are still in each other's lives, and now they're married with a baby." So, yeah. It looks like Madison is going to defend Justin till the end of time. However, unlike Madison, a lot of people are bold enough to call it for what it is. This person wrote, "I've been saying this. The reason Justin doesn't speak out is because he has done bad things himself." Another one said, "Justin seems to have a relationship with everyone except his own wife. Yikes. I've said this before in a post, but I think he is freaking out because he has things he's hiding." Then someone else stated the terrifying truth that usually the abused become the abuser. And because Justin Bieber's story is never complete without Selena Gomez getting an honorable mention, this person said that Selena is so lucky that she got out of this scary mess. And maybe that's the real story here. It's not just about what Justin did, but who stayed silent to keep him protected.